Everybody knows about Cleopatra VII, the very last queen of Egypt, right? She is one of the most well-known people in history. She ruled during a time full of politics, alliances, and wars, and she's famous for being beautiful, smart, and charming. Even though she is so famous, we haven't been able to find out where she was laid to rest after she passed away, but recent findings have sparked new interest in looking for Cleopatra's hidden tomb. The secret of Cleopatra's tomb has fascinated historians, archaeologists, and regular folks too for many years. People have tried to find her tomb, but they've never been successful. But now, with discoveries like the forgotten tunnel under Egypt's old Taposiris Magna Templе, there's hope that we might find where Cleopatra was buried. People are really excited and can't wait to see if we'll finally find her tomb. It's not only a really important discovery for history, but also a personal victory for the people who've been trying so hard to find it. If we find Cleopatra's hidden tomb, it'll be a super big deal in history. We'll get to know more about how she lived and died, things that we've been wondering about for a long time. It'll also help us understand how Egypt was back then, both in politics and in culture. And did you know that Cleopatra was buried with her partner Mark Antony? That means if we find her tomb, we might also find where he was buried. The excitement for finding Cleopatra's tomb keeps getting bigger because this mystery has been one of the biggest puzzles of our time. Cleopatra is one of the most famous people from ancient times, known for being really smart, beautiful, and good at politics. She was born in 69 BC in Alexandria, Egypt, and was part of the Ptolemaic dynasty, which ruled Egypt for a really long time. Cleopatra became queen of Egypt when she was just 18 years old, in the year 51 BC. She was the very last ruler of the Ptolemaic dynasty. While she ruled, she was known for being good at making deals with other countries and for speaking many languages like Greek and Egyptian. Cleopatra was also famous for her relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, and this had a big impact on both ancient Rome and Egypt. Cleopatra and Julius Caesar started being together in 48 BC when she went to Rome to meet him. They fell in love, and Caesar helped her take back her throne from her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII. But in 44 BC, Caesar was killed, and after that, Cleopatra got together with Mark Antony, who was one of Caesar's really close friends. They had 3 kids and got married in 36 BC. But Rome thought their relationship was dangerous, so Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, defeated them in the Battle of Actium in 31 BC. After they lost the battle, Cleopatra and Antony ran away to Egypt. Sadly, they both decided to end their lives. According to legend, an asp snake bit Cleopatra, and Antony ended his own life by using a sword. Even though Cleopatra is really famous, no one's been able to find where she was buried after all these years. People have looked for her tomb a lot, but they haven't found it yet. Finding her tomb would be a really important thing for archaeologists because it would help us know more about her life and how she ruled, which is something that a lot of people are very interested in. For many years, historians, archaeologists, and treasure hunters have been really interested in finding Cleopatra's tomb. Even though they've tried a lot, no one's been able to figure out where she was buried. People have tried to find the tomb using the usual methods of digging and studying old things, but that hasn't worked out. However, in recent times, they've used new technology and methods to try to find the hidden tomb. One person who's leading the search for Cleopatra's tomb is Kathleen Martinez, an Egyptologist from the Dominican Republic. She's been looking for clues in Egypt since 2005, and she's been mainly focused on the temple of Taposiris Magna, which is about 45 kilometers away from Alexandria. Martinez and her team are using special tools like ground-penetrating radar and magnetometry, which help them see what's underneath the ground to find places where Cleopatra might be buried. Even though looking for Cleopatra's tomb is hard, recent discoveries giving Martinez and her team some good hints. In 2023, experts found hidden rooms under Jerusalem's western wall, and these rooms might have something to do with Cleopatra's tomb. Also, things they found at the Temple of Taposiris Magna, like a statue that could show Cleopatra, make Martinez and her team think that they're getting closer to finding the tomb. The search for Cleopatra's tomb is still going on, but because of new technology and the hard work of people like Martinez, there is hope that we might finally solve the big mystery one day. For a really long time, people didn't know where Cleopatra's tomb was, but recently they have got closer to finding it after years of searching. The tomb is believed to be hidden deep in the desert, and they're still looking at what it looks like and what's inside. At first, it seems like a big and fancy place with carvings and decorations on the walls that are really detailed. They think the stuff inside the tomb's also amazing, with things like treasures and objects from the time Cleopatra was the queen in Egypt. This discovery is super important because it helps us learn more about a really interesting woman in history. Compared to other old Egyptian tombs, Cleopatra's tomb is special and strange. The fact that its location was kept secret makes people think that maybe it was hidden on purpose, maybe to keep it safe from thieves or enemies. The way the tomb is made and what's in it are different from other ancient tombs, which makes experts think that Cleopatra might have had her tomb built in a way that's not like anyone else's. Finding this tomb has made it possible to learn more about Cleopatra's life and what she did when she was the Queen of Egypt. The secret around Cleopatra's tomb has made people wonder a lot. Some people think it was hidden to make sure bad people wouldn't take stuff from it, and others say Cleopatra herself might have wanted to keep it secret. No matter the reason for the secrecy, finding Cleopatra's tomb is really huge for people who study old things and a sign of how good our technology is now at uncovering the past. Studying this tomb and what's inside will surely help us understand the life of someone who's been a big mystery in history. So what are the major artifacts found within the tomb? The stuff they found in the tomb helps us get a peek into the life and times of Cleopatra, who was the very last queen of ancient Egypt. There were all kinds of things in the tomb, like jewelry, pottery, and statues. All of these things are made really carefully and with a lot of detail. They are not only important things because they're old, but they also help us see how art and culture was in ancient Egypt. It's really important to connect the things they found in the tomb to Cleopatra's life and how she ruled. For instance, they think the jewelry belonged to Cleopatra herself, and the pottery and statues probably show important people and events from her time as queen. These things they found give us a special view of Cleopatra's life and how she ruled, which we didn't really know much about before. By studying these things, people who know a lot about history can figure out more about Cleopatra's place in ancient Egyptian society and what she did that was important. We can also look at what they found in Cleopatra's tomb and compare it to other old Egyptian tombs and what was in them. The things they found in Cleopatra's tomb are just as beautifully made as the things in other royal tombs from ancient Egypt. But the stuff they found in Cleopatra's tomb is special and different, which shows how important Cleopatra's time as queen was. The discovery of Cleopatra's tomb and the things in it is really big in the world of history. It helps us learn more about how people lived in ancient Egypt and what their culture was like. The recent find, believed to be Cleopatra's secret tomb, has really excited historians and archaeologists. Even though they haven't 100% said it is hers, experts have been talking about how important it could be. They think that if it's truly Cleopatra's tomb, it could teach us new things about her life, the time she ruled, and even how ancient Egypt was. The discovery might also show us how they used to bury people and how they did special ceremonies. Finding what might be Cleopatra's tomb has the potential to change what we know about ancient Egypt and Cleopatra herself. One big mystery about Cleopatra is where she came from. Some people think she was from Greece, while others say she was pure Egyptian. If the tomb is hers, it could give more proof to one of these ideas. This find could help us understand how things were in Egypt back when Cleopatra was in charge and how women in powerful roles were seen at the time. The discovery has also made people really excited about finding more things in that area. Archaeologists are still looking for the special place where Cleopatra was buried. There are different ideas about where it could be. They've even found a hidden tunnel up in northern Egypt that might lead to where she is buried, and there's another tunnel they found under a temple in Egypt. These are just a few examples of how much work is happening to learn more about Cleopatra and how things were in ancient Egypt. As they find more stuff, we'll keep learning more and more about how things used to be a long time ago. The recent news about finding Cleopatra's tomb has made some archaeology experts doubt and criticize it. Even though people have been searching for her burial spot for a long time, they have never found it for sure. This makes some experts question if this new discovery is really true. Some experts say they need more proof to be sure about the tomb, and this means that discussions about the discovery and what it means for archaeology will probably keep going on. People also don't all agree about what's inside the tomb or if it's even real. Even though they say this is a big find, some experts are worried about whether they really know who's in the tomb. They're not sure if the tomb they found really belonged to Cleopatra. Some experts think there's no solid proof connecting the tomb to her, and they even say the tomb might have been called Cleopatra's on purpose to make people interested and excited. Finding Cleopatra's tomb brings up important questions about how we take care of old places and what's right in archaeology. Digging up old tombs and places where people were buried is sensitive and can be argued about. It's because it is disturbing their resting place. So if it's important for archaeologists to be careful and respectful when they're looking for things, they should think about how important these things are to history and people's cultures. Finding Cleopatra's tomb shows us again how vital it is to do archaeology in a way that's responsible and follows the rules. The recent news about possibly finding Cleopatra's secret tomb has caught the attention of the media all around the world. Big news sources like CNN, BBC, and the New York Times have shared the story with headlines like "Secret Tomb of Cleopatra Finally Found." This news has made a lot of people who love history and old civilizations really curious and excited. People who study history, like historians and archaeologists, are keeping a close eye on this discovery. Lots of experts in this field are really happy about what this could mean. Some are even saying it's one of the most amazing discoveries in a really long time, but there are also people who are careful and do not jump to conclusions. In the past, there have been times when people thought they had found Cleopatra's tomb, but it turned out not to be true. Even so, this discovery has made people really interested in Cleopatra's life and how famous she was in the old days. The news about maybe finding Cleopatra's tomb is also making regular people excited. People are talking a lot about it on social media. They're sharing thoughts and feelings about the discovery. People are super interested in finding out more about Cleopatra's life and what happened to her when she died. And this news is making people want to learn more about history and the cool stuff that happened a long time ago. The recent news about a possible secret tomb of Cleopatra has gotten archaeologists and historians really excited and interested. Even though people tried before, they didn't know where Cleopatra was buried. But now, in November 2022, an Egyptian Dominican team of archaeologists has found a hidden tunnel, and this discovery has made people hopeful that they might find Cleopatra's tomb in the Temple of Osiris in the old city of Taposiris Magna. If this is true, it could teach us new things about one of the most famous people and about ancient Egypt. This new discovery also shows that there's a lot more to find out by doing more research and exploring old places. Cleopatra's tomb is just one of the things that people are trying to find from the past. As technology and ways of finding things get better, there's a better chance to discover new places and things that can tell us more about how things used to be. And when we learn about Cleopatra's tomb, we might even find out about other important people and things from history, which would help us understand our past even more. The discovery of Cleopatra's tomb also shows how important it is to save old places and things for people in the future. As we learn more about the past, we have to make sure that we take care of what we find. And this means that we have to dig up old sites in the right way and make sure that old things are kept safe and shown to people so they can learn about them. If we do this, the people of the future will have a chance to learn from and enjoy our history. So, in conclusion, finding Cleopatra's secret tomb is a really big deal in history that people all over the world are talking about. Finding where she was buried was a mystery for a long time, but now, with new technology, it appears that they have finally found it. The place where the tomb is, how it's set up, and the things they found inside all help us to understand more about Cleopatra's life and how Egypt used to be. Even though there are arguments about whether the tomb and its contents are really Cleopatra's, this discovery has made people very interested in archaeology and Egyptology as well. We should also make sure to keep old places and things safe so that people of the future can learn more about their history too. Remember, this discovery is a chance for more research and exploration, and it's going to change how we understand history. And that's going to bring us to the end of today's video. We certainly hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give us a big like and share it with all your friends and family and fellow explorers and would-be archaeologists who are in your inner circle. What did you think about the finding? Do you truly think that this secret tomb of Cleopatra has finally been found? There are many people that think it is. What do you think? Or is this a case of mistaken identity? That has happened before. I'm curious to know about your views, and if it's not, do you think Cleopatra's tomb will be found? Do you think it'll be found soon? Or at all? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We always love to hear from you, the viewers of our channel. If we can ask you one more favor before we leave, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. All you gotta do is press the bell icon, and that will allow you to receive notifications whenever we have new updates and uploads for you. You'll stay in the know with us so we can always keep exploring together. We sincerely appreciate you spending time out of your busy day with us today, and we'll look forward to catching up with you in our next video. Have a great rest of your day. Always stay curious, and thanks for watching.